All right, so what's going on? Don't mind the interior right now. 1950 Chevy 6100 series. I believe it's a 2.5 ton. Don't mind this. I gotta wipe all this down. I just got done cleaning it up, as you can tell. Let's see, 4-speed, a 235 bar glad motor. If for any of you Chevy guys out there wondering what a bar glad is, I'll show you what difference, because I've told a lot of people about it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. This is about a 80%, 85-ish, so maybe 90% mostly all original. Now, as you guys know, your typical 235 has ribs in between spark plugs like a 216 would. This actually is flat. And I know you guys have probably never heard of it. This motor has only been made for 2 years. So from what my old man told me, it's about like 50, later 50, early 52, if I remember. Originally, this is, oh, actually I'll go back to that later. Finally got a 6-volt battery in this thing. Back to the whole bar glad motor. So this is actually an early 51. This isn't the original motor. This is actually a replacement to be to original, but it's not the original. I believe the carburetor and the starter here, the kickstart over here is original. I think I still have, no I don't. I got the head, it's not with me. But if any typical guy who's actually opened up a 235, I've never personally seen one, the valve train, well not the valve train, the valves themselves and the piston rings are slightly bigger than an average 235 motor like you'd see in like, I don't know, like a Bel Air for example. They came with like a 235 as well. What else? As you can see in the walk around, I got the original style Widowmaker rims. Now I've heard and seen a lot of people talk about these. I've never personally done one myself. As my dad, who was my educator, who's not around anymore, he's passed away about over 2 years now. These rims, they actually lock in between the rim in the middle, so, which is another reason why they call them Widowmakers. And what you do is you got to clean them between, I don't know if you can see the little ridge, that's where the other half of the rim meets the other side over on this side where my finger is. And they, I don't know how much of a gap that you have, probably about maybe about that much or so. I've never seen one personally. You put about 30 pounds in this thing. I've only ran about maybe 20, 25 at the most, but you don't want to do more than 30 pounds. Now these are all bias ply, you know, original Fruhoff tires. I think these were put on by my dad. This truck sat quite a long time. Been off the road since 1990. I actually drove it down the street to give it a wash today after about 2 years, as maybe some of you people would know from the Bolton Truck Show in Bolton, Mass. Another cool thing, the saddle tanks, these aren't the original ones. Originally, you know, the bottoms, as you see like on a white 9000, possibly if that's the model, they're usually round on the bottom. That's what this is supposed to be originally. Originally that's what this had. And when my dad got this back from New Hampshire, he actually found the saddle tanks out in here in town at our local junkyard. So that's that. These are the original grab handle, door handles, obviously. It's done to the original spec when we got it in my family, brand new. Got this brand new battery today. If anyone's wondering, that's your part number. They're about 120 bucks at Advance. Great battery. But anyway, the interior, this isn't the original seat or the bench back cushion as well. I don't have the original Obviously, I don't have the original fuel tank, but it has one functions. These, they used to be full. They're all emptied. I know that a lot of guys would say, oh, why would you put that back on your truck? Well, some people just don't know how to properly mount them because you don't solid mount to your frame. You gotta allow some flex in between. So that's what you do. And I've seen a lot of people, they'll just hard mount them, and that's why they got rid of these. They break and crack in between, and then all the gas will come out. So that's another cool feature, something you just don't see anymore. If anyone's wondering, I believe this is vacuum. When trailers had vacuum brakes, this is air. And then this truck is actually running off of air over hydraulic, but it's kind of like a juiced brake setup. So you have an air tank and an air compressor. There's your air tank. And you're running a hydraulic setup to your back and front. So I think this is, if I'm right, if I'm mistakenly not remembering, it's a 2.5 ton truck setup. Originally this truck was just all cabin chassis from what I remember. I was obviously not born before the time. It was actually purchased here in Hudson. My grandfather had it sent out to Boston, and all the things you see, like the air brakes, the air horn, there's the air compressor on the other side. I'll show you in a second. Air compressor, right there. That was all factory added after the truck was purchased. This isn't the original color from factory, but it is original, period correct to the truck. This has also been added. This isn't made to be here. My grandfather actually made this, and he had this piece bent like on the ends and had that slitted, sorry, to make this fit, and welded here. I know originally these bumpers are supposed to be gray. I think from what my dad wanted, he wanted color match, so it's all green. I know usually originally, if you want to be a purist, original person, or a diehard Chevrolet guy, these were gray. I gotta pump that. But, like, see here, that's been added, but it's factory added. But those are not the original horns, but this piece I believe is. I'm not sure. But this horn was added. And same with the roof lights too. I don't have any pictures. I'd like to find some. Now, anyone else would also notice this is not original either. They're small. I think they're about a 3 or 4 inch round mirror. My dad added them because I know when you're sitting in this truck, it gets kind of hard to see what's behind you. So he wanted this more for the visual when he was driving this truck during the time. As you can see, this thing's all pitted here. I'm probably gonna end up getting these replaced. And also, these are actually Mac B model grab handles, which my grandfather added during the time. Believe it or not, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the original glass, but it's starting to yellow and fog a little bit in between here. If I remember, I don't think, oh, actually, I think it is the original windshield as well. The handles, everything, these are original. Original steering wheel, not the original transmission. The original transmission, we still have. It's put away, but it's been outside, so I don't know how well that would be. But not the original 4-speed that came with this truck, but it is the original style that you would get from factory. Kick start, obviously, you don't turn with a key, but you do use the key to turn your ignition on. This is all period correct, as you know. I know that the lights don't work because I've actually hooked a 12-volt battery, and I've cooked the condenser twice on this truck, and I finally decided to get some money saved up, and I decided to go buy the 6-volt battery. Trolley valve for your trailer, that's been added. This air gauge, that's been added. And this is your low air light, which it did work at one point. All this trimming here, this is original. This is original that came with it. I know some of the guys are still looking for these. I don't know if LMC makes them. I would suggest maybe looking there if you're looking. I know that this is just a delete for radio. It didn't come with one. I'm not sure what this was for. I think maybe a vacuum control. If this wasn't air operated, your windshield wipers would actually be right here, I believe, if I remember. Then your vent, and then this, I am not 100% sure. And then down here is your high, well, your low, oh my God, sorry. This is your high beam. Running markers and your low beams and your driving lights. Your choke, your throttle, handbrake, which still surprisingly works, because this thing does not have any brakes right now. But overall, don't mind the mess. This isn't the original glass. It's been replaced once already. What else? I don't know. I just wanted to share a video, because I know on YouTube you don't see these many like this. Oh, also, early in the 40s, or sorry, like 47, when this particular style came out that I know of, to my knowledge, I'm not saying 100% sure if I'm correct or not. The older ones had a red needle on all these. And also this was for, I think later on it went up to 220, I believe. And also the font on the gauges is also another indication where you can tell what year the truck is. This was, I believe originally was red. I'm not 100% sure if this is period correct, but if I remember mostly from what my dad was telling me, it is. But now I'm just questioning myself about this too. But if anyone's got any information about this setup, about that being red and these all being white, let me know. I got a 4100 Loadmaster with the needles red with new facings, but the facing font is actually slightly different from the 50, which is this. Other than that, I will give you guys a startup and another walk around. Thing's been sitting for about 2 years, so surprisingly it caught on pretty quickly when I got her running today. So, all right. I think I'll need gas, but who knows? There we go. And there you have it. This isn't, the fuel gauge isn't right. It's not hooked up right now. But there you have it. Sorry, it's getting dark out. You'll be seeing this coming up in other videos later on. Let me know if you want to see more, or if you want to see more of this. Unfortunately, this is going to be going out, being relocated soon within the next day or two. So eventually I'd like to get this thing all done up again and get it roadworthy again. But these tires, they're terrible. I don't know if you can see it. Well, this one's not that bad. I still wouldn't trust it. But it's an 8 1/4 by 20. It's kind of an oddball tire. You can still get them, but like, this isn't gonna pass. The other side's even worse than this. Oh, also, glass lighting. You can still buy these at LMC if anyone's looking. All this dry rot, this ain't gonna pass. But there you have it. 3rd generation family owned truck here in town, Hudson, Mass. There you go. But there you have it, guys. Appreciate watching. I appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. Hopefully there will be more to come. Like I said in the last video, I was working on the truck. I got a lot going on. I do appreciate you guys who actually are subscribing and watching my videos and the shorts. But this is like a one of a kind. You'll never see something like this around. Not anymore. Anyways, thanks for watching.